Welcome everyone to German Tool Reviews. Today we're going to take a look at the Hazet 916HP half-inch drive ratchet. This is actually a brand new product from Hazet, introduced in early 2018. According to the marketing materials, the HP in this case refers to high performance. Claim to fame for this particular ratchet is that Hazet has tested this design to withstand 1000 Newton meters of torque, which is well above what the standard for a half-inch drive ratchet is. The DIN ISO standard for a half-inch drive specifies a minimum torque that is about one half of this value at around 500 Newton meters. While I'm sure many half-inch drive ratchets can survive these higher torque values, Hazet is the only one I've seen that has actually stated this number with the test data to back it up. Let's take a look at the design of the ratchet in detail, starting with the handle. An interesting thing about this ratchet is that there is a smooth transition between the handle and the actual ratchet shaft. Most of the time when you see a comfort grip handle like this, there is a distinctive step between the handle and the shaft. To make this transition possible, this had to be built into the design and the forging die of the product. The handle is a composite made out of two materials. The black material is slightly softer than the light blue material. It is definitely not your typical comfort grip material. If I had to guess, I would say it is polypropylene, which should provide some additional chemical resistance at the expense of being a bit softer than other composite materials. Next we can see the model number 916HP and made in Germany stamped on the shaft. I do like how they actually decided to stamp this, since so many tools these days you see are laser etched, and laser etching will eventually wear away over time. Now looking at the business end, I'm seeing something strange here on the finish that I don't ever recall running into before. You'll notice there's a portion of the ratchet that has a much more polished appearance than the normal matte chrome finish on the rest of the ratchet. What I think is going on here is that this portion of the ratchet does not have any chrome plating on it. What it appears to be instead is actually nickel plating, which is typically done as a step before applying the chrome. This is just speculation, but I think that this portion of the ratchet is not chrome plated and was omitted due to some manufacturing or process limitation. I'm guessing that the jig used to hold the ratchet during the chrome plating step covers the surface and hence why it appears different. The reason I don't think it's just a polished chrome surface is that it wouldn't make much sense to do an additional chrome plating on this surface to make it look polished if it already is matte chrome plated. I don't think there is anything really wrong with this, but it is just strange, something I haven't seen before. I'll have to keep an eye on this to see if there are any possible corrosion or durability issues with this approach. To look at the design of the ratchet, the exploded diagram provided by Hazet in their marketing materials seems to do the best job at showing the details of this design. There are a couple things about the design which seem to be a departure from the standard Hazet ratchet design. The first being the dual spring design, whereby one spring is used to hold the lever in the current position, and a separate spring is used to provide required pressure against the pawl. I don't think this is a new design, just something you don't typically see in a Hazet ratchet. The other change is that they have removed all the screws and now use a clip to hold everything in place. I'm guessing part of this decision was based on the fact that the ratchet would be slightly weakened with the addition of a traditional cover plate. I did actually decide to take this clip off, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. You just need a small screwdriver to get it started and it comes right out. A good amount of lubrication was added to all the internal mechanisms straight from the factory. One interesting observation I had about this ratchet is that it has extremely strong detent on the direction lever, so you should never have an issue with it going out of gear unintentionally. An observation I've had with ratchets over the years is that they all seem to fit different brand sockets a little bit differently. I believe this is because the DIN ISO standard has a tolerance that doesn't overlap for the placement of the ball bearing on the square drive and the placement of the detent on the socket. The result is that you get certain brands that don't quite bottom out when positioned on the detent. Checking a couple of half-inch drive sockets that I have lying around, we'll first look at the Dot that is at least 30 years old. While it stays on the drive, you'll notice a bit of up and down play because the drive can extend into the socket past the detent position. Now going way back, I'll try this J.H. Williams socket from the 1930s. Almost a perfect fit, just the smallest amount of play, which could be just due to its age. Here's a vintage Matador drain plug socket, quite a bit of play but nowhere near as bad as the Dot. Here's one from Ghidorah, the model 1930 half-inch to 3/8 reducer. Definitely has the best fit out of the ones I've tried. I looked around, and if you can believe this, I don't think I have any Hazet half-inch drive sockets. I got plenty of 1/4 and 3/8 drive ones, so I'll have to probably remedy that soon. I know that hand ratchets like these have sort of been in the decline since the emergence of cheaper impact tools, but I've always preferred to use a ratchet. Using it for a bit, I really don't have any negatives to say about it. I do like the 90-tooth design. I was not expecting to see much of a difference over your typical 72-tooth design, but I can definitely feel the difference of that extra degree return angle. I know there were some comments in the unboxing episode about the length of the ratchet being so short at 275 millimeters. I looked at the other ratchet brands, and this is right in line with any of the non-long versions, which are in the range of 270 to 300 millimeters. Yeah, it would have been nice to see a long version of the same design, so hopefully Hazet has one in the works. These complaints really go back to the 1,000 Newton meter claim, which would mean that you need to put about a half ton of force on the handle to reach that torque with this length. I really feel that Hazet is pricing this ratchet as a gateway tool for people who haven't yet used or discovered Hazet tools, as they are usually too expensive for most people's taste. The current price point of this ratchet is actually below that of their previous half-inch drive fine-tooth ratchet, the 916-1, that is actually a bit shorter than the 916HP and is a 72-tooth version. So if you're still on the fence about getting any Hazet tools, this might be the tool to get, as it is a pretty nice ratchet and it should last you for a lifetime. Well, hopefully you enjoyed that first look at the Hazet 916HP ratchet. Check out the link in the description of the 4 review. There's also some affiliate links in the description if you feel the urge to pick this unit up. Have a good week, and I'll catch you guys next time.